Long poem, so I'm just going to jump right in. This is Memory as a Hearing Aid by Tony Hoaglan. Somewhere, someone is asking a question, and I stand squinting at the classroom with one hand cupped behind my ear, trying to figure out where the voice is coming from. I might be already an old man, attempting to recall the night his hearing got misplaced, front row center at a battle of the bands, where a lot of leather-clad, second-rate musicians, amped up to dinosaur proportions, test drove their equipment through our ears. Each time, the drummer threw a tantrum, the guitarist whirled and sprayed us with machine gun riffs, as if they wished that they could knock us, quite literally, dead. We called that fun in 1970, when we weren't sure our lives were worth surviving. I'm here to tell you that they were, and many of us did, despite ourselves. Though the road from there to here is paved with dead brain cells, parents shocked to silence, and squad cars painting the whole neighborhood the quaking tint and texture of red jelly. Friends, we should have postmarks on our foreheads to show where we have been. We should have pointed ears or polka-dotted skin to show what we were thinking when we hot-rodded over God's front lawn and death kept blinking. But here I stand, an average-looking man staring at a room where someone blonde in braids with a beautiful belief in answers is still asking questions. Through the silence in my dead ear, I can almost hear the future whisper to the past. It says that this is not a test, and everyone passes. So that's Tony Hoaglan. He's one of my favorite poets. A famous poet named Allen Ginsberg wrote a poem called Howl, and in the second part of that poem he references this god, this biblical time god named Moloch, who they would burn children to as a image for culture. Francisco de Goya painted a picture of the story of Kronos devouring his children. It's called Saturn devouring his children, but they don't actually match up stories. But it is indeed Kronos devouring his children. If you don't know that story, look it up. It's good. It has to do with Zeus and all. That's interesting. But I'm using both of those in this poem, references to both of those works of art. So this is to Ginsberg and Goya. If Moloch and Kronos had a baby, it would look like a wrinkled $20 bill covered in residual cocaine being passed back and forth from customer to clerk to customer again. Or a sexy shampoo commercial interrupted by a news update about a school shooting or a PSA about being raped by a close friend. If Moloch and Kronos had a baby, it would feel like the extra weight of dread in your work boots when you hang your credit card debt from the rafters with an extension cord. Or the joy when you overdraft a bank account for a new 72-inch high-definition television for your trailer, or the worry when you take a student loan because you spent the money you made working your ass off through high school on designer clothes so you would fit in. If Moloch and Kronos had a baby, it's shrieking and crying, the click-clack of thousands upon thousands of keystrokes coming from the hand of an internet porn addict on his latest fix, or the tinkle of tempered glass on the ground mingling with the grinding metal when a concrete median stops you 5 miles per hour short of maxing out your speedometer, just like they did in that movie you paid $10 to see, or the whispers of middle schoolers on a bus talking about how much they drank or who they screwed on the weekend. If Moloch and Kronos had a baby, it would reek of cheap flowers and embalming fluids at the funeral of a girl who felt too fat to eat, or stale beer, rotting food and vomit that was caked to your face because you passed out in a trash can the night before. If Moloch and Kronos had a baby and didn't burn or devour it first. That's my poem. Kind of a statement about where culture's going, I guess. It's kind of depressing. And by the looks of it, I still have plenty of time. But that was a piece I wrote. I don't really know why. I just felt inspired to. I guess I was inspired by both those, the picture and the poem. You should check them out. And just a statement on where it is. For me, it was that things haven't changed. You know, Kronos is this paranoia and fear that I kind of talk about, the school shooting, things like that, and then Moloch, just this ruining of the children through culture, essentially, as Ginsberg used it, and I referenced that. Kind of dark. Don't mean to be depressing, but because I have extra time, hopefully I can edit this down. I have another poem to read you guys. It's more funny. It's just about a single moment in time, just maybe 3 seconds, if that, caught and slowed down. It's one of my favorite pieces I've written, so I'll read that as well. I don't mean to use this as like a soapbox for myself, but here goes that one. This is called Double Knots. Tie your shoe or you're going to trip. I can still hear her say it. 22 years, and finally she is right. Slow motion, right. It's kind of nice, the cold, moist air parting around my face. Everything I am trying to be more chill gray sky and less rain-soaked earth. I try to swim up and continue to fall down, smiling because falling feels like flying, until I am reminded that wet concrete tastes just like it smells.